When you talk about SOLOGENIC OGs, you're actually talking to a real one. You know what I mean? I wanted to come on here real quick before we start the video and just apologize for being so early. No disrespect whatsoever, but I'm hearing so much FUD and so much stuff going on in this space. I wanted to come in here real quick and let that be known. Like, usually I just hit right to the point on my videos. I get right to it and I'm out of there, okay? But real quick, when you talk about SOLOGENIC OGs, I wanted to get into this real quick. Look at the date on this TikTok video. We're talking 11/12/2021, okay? So you know if I made this video, I was in SOLOGENIC way before this.
We on location. I remember way back. You ain't have no swag. You did a little research. Now you got a moon bag. Now you got a new walk. Now you got new swag. You did a little research. Now you got a moon bag. Well, let me show you what the moon bag's like. You take them gains when it gets that high. I mean, the market may dip for a little bit. That's when I hurry up and buy. Me, I just wanna rub them thighs. I like my oatmeal chunky. Banana nuts all in it. Shit, you're talking about the blockchain monkeys. It's a solo nation.
Ambrosia Collective has a pre-workout that is mushroom enhanced. How did I find it? Well, first of all, I take a plant-based protein. And where do I get it? Ambrosia Collective. Link is in the description. And what do I mix with that? Sea moss. Has over 92 minerals that the body needs. Okay? Now, got my immune system in check. But now, when it comes to crypto, we're talking about cold storage. Get your crypto off the exchange and into a cold storage wallet to where only you have access. Okay? Decent wallet link in the description. Now, what is going on, blockchain monkeys? Eagle here, and I want to thank you for coming to my jungle. First of all, I'm no financial advisor whatsoever, nor am I professional in blockchain technology. But there's one thing that I absolutely will do, and that's give hype in this. So today, we're coming back on SOLOGENIC, yes indeed. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, the listings are back. The first on the list is Bitmart Exchange. Let's go. Now this coming in hot from RZA, been very focused these past few months. We are moving mountains with SOLOGENIC and building the future with Corium. And one thing I love, ladies and gentlemen, is when a project puts their head down and gets to work. See, first thing you got to do is do your research. And then you got to do your research again and again and again and over and over and over again before you even think about buying. But after you finally come to the conclusion of buying, don't you look at the project to see what they're actually doing? Is there something here? Are they actually building? Are they laying down those tracks? Well, you're looking at Corium, and it seems to be so. But real quick, coming in hot from the Corium Twitter page, security is at the forefront of every blockchain network, and as an industry-leading security auditor, we are glad to introduce Informal Inc. joining Corium. Are they building? I said, are they building, ladies and gentlemen? Coming in hot from Informal Systems, looking at the proof of stake validation. Informal staking brings high-quality validation services to the Cosmos ecosystem. Yes, we know what's going on with WASM. Us as blockchain monkeys, we got a keen eye on what is going down in this space, okay? Informal staking has been an active validator since the Genesis block of Cosmos Hub. We love when we get information like this, okay? We are building the tools and infrastructure to improve the utility of the hub and other Cosmos-based projects. But before we go, ladies and gentlemen, we got Bob Ras dropping this heat on decentralized exchanges and why they're so important and a safer option for crypto. But also, ladies and gentlemen, if you're new to this space and haven't done your research and don't know what it's like to build, I suggest you go back to the drawing board, ladies and gentlemen.
Recently, the Federal Reserve issued a statement on the risk of crypto, warning the public about the risk of fraud and other legal uncertainties. Joining us to discuss more about this is Bob Ras, co-founder of SOLOGENIC. Bob, welcome to the show. Glad to have you on.
Thanks for having me, Alicia.
Well, this past year, if there's been any sort of theme, especially when it comes to crypto, it's really been around risk, assessing that risk, or even in some cases over the last few months, realizing some of the risk within crypto entities. Let's focus in on this. In terms of how can decentralized exchanges potentially be a safer option compared to centralized exchanges?
In general, decentralized exchanges are a safer option. The main reason is customers they have the custodial of their own assets. I think that's the important point, and that's the key point here. In terms of the user experience, decentralized, within the past few years, decentralized exchanges, they lack some features which they were existed on centralized exchanges, including charting tools, advanced orders and order. However, if we can overcome those obstacles and we can create a decentralized ecosystem, a decentralized exchange, which allow users to have the same experience as a centralized exchange, I think very easily within the next few years, decentralized exchanges, they can be a safer options for end users.
In that vein, then, what are the necessary steps to kind of improve the current decentralized experience and exchanges to encourage retail users to use them more?
One of the main, I guess, beside the user experience on the decentralized exchanges, I think one of the main reasons that users, we don't see a lot of users, they started to use decentralized exchanges as a alternative option, is the fact that they are a lot of different blockchains, right? So if there is an cross-chain bridge and interoperability, bridge established, which users, they can actually transfer assets from one blockchain to the other blockchain and trade them and trade them against the other assets. I think that's going to provide a great solution for the users to be encouraged to use the decentralized exchanges.
You hit on a key word there, transparency. That has been another theme that's come out of some of the situations that we've seen with crypto, especially following the FTX collapse. A lot of calls for transparency. What is the best way then for decentralized exchanges to be more transparent?
Decentralized exchanges, they're already transparent because users, they don't really have there's no third party that have the custodial of users' assets. So every user, they can easily connect their wallet and start to trade. So decentralized exchanges, they're already transparent. I think your question is regarding centralized exchanges. I think centralized exchanges, the only reason that I see that centralized exchanges, they can bring more transparency to the space and bring back users' confidence and trust is to provide proof of reserve as well as proof of liability.
If we say that decentralized exchanges, or that's the conversation we're having, that decentralized exchanges are safer than centralized ones, what is the biggest prohibitive factor that is stopping everyone from already being on a decentralized exchange, and how is that overcome moving forward?
As I mentioned, I think the number of assets, the variety of the assets which are available on the centralized exchange are definitely more than the assets that are available on decentralized exchanges. So, as I mentioned, I think user experience, that's number one. And what we have done within SOLOGENIC ecosystem, we have built a decentralized exchange on the XRP ledger. And since we started to develop that decentralized exchange, we always had this idea in our mind that we wanted to create a decentralized exchange which offers a very similar experience as a centralized exchange to the end users. By that, I mean, we have provided charting tools, professional charting tools, order book, and advanced orders, including stop loss, limit order, and etc. And I think very soon, within the next few years, we are going to see a lot of users are going to use decentralized exchanges as a better alternative. And I think that's the main purpose of any cryptocurrency, that you don't really need a third party as an intermediate. So,
Bob, if you don't mind me asking before I let you go here, what has been some of the growth that you have seen, or perhaps the growth rate as you guys have moved over into that more user-friendly model on XRP?
I think it's important, as I mentioned, that the key here is to create a decentralized ecosystem for any users. I think that the basic right of any user is to make sure that the assets are safeguarded. And if you're talking about cryptocurrency, I think the main purpose of cryptocurrency was, removing any third party. And for that reason, I think that the space should go towards a more decentralized manner and a more decentralized ecosystem where you don't really need any third party to be in the middle to execute an order. And I think we are going to see that, in the next few years, definitely.
Cause it's the standard in this bitch. XRP. I went to YouTube University, and now they mocking me with no degree. We saying by the swift, keep it walking. Respecting elders in these bushes. Bitcoin is talking.
You don't have to be rich to be taking advantage of this. This was the beginning of the greatest transformation of wealth the world has ever fucking seen since World War II.
Blockchain. We talking about an intellectual choo-choo train. It's DLT up in these streets, man. That's why we rip all on that blockchain.